Hey there! Welcome to Flute 360, the podcast designed specifically for you, the modern-day flutist who wants to go beyond the basics. This isn't just about scales and etudes. It's about taking inspiration from life itself and bringing it into your artistry. You deserve a career that moves you creatively and financially, and here we explore how to break out of the box. Whether it's lessons from the world around us or fresh insights, this platform is here to help you get off the page, innovate, and transform your flute playing and career. Let's vibe, grow, and move forward together. Today's episode is episode 301, and it's titled From Chia Seeds to No Coffee, 14 Ways I'm Uplifting My Life. Hey there, flute friend. Boy, it has been a hot second. I kid you not, I have no idea where these past 4 weeks went. So my apologies in advance for being a little radio silent. But if you knew what was going on in the Begay, Mueller, Obudo household, you would completely understand. We had a family member unfortunately pass away, but we get to rejoice his life and know that I will see him soon one day. And we also welcomed another new family member into the world, my niece, and her name is Mary Kay. With that and family updates and the beginning of school, oh my goodness, I have been so busy, and I know you have been busy as well. But, huge but, I have missed you so much during this 4-week break. I cannot believe that the last episode with Peter Musanga in episode 300 was published 4 weeks ago. It feels like yesterday. So if you have not checked out the latest and greatest through Flute 360 podcast world, you definitely want to go and subscribe through your favorite podcast app, such as Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, and Apple. I did a lot of daily podcasting the weeks leading into NFA, and some of that solo content is some of my favorite because it was content that was really shaped and really molded for you, my Flute 360 friend. How has the beginning of your school been? Have you been extra busy? How has your studio building been going on? Have you pivoted away from your toxic job? What is going on in your world? Do you have any family updates that you want to share with me? Feel free to always message me and know that my DM window is always up and running for you. So if you're not following me through social media such as Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok, I am in all the spaces. Feel free to reach out if you ever get inspired or motivated by something through this podcast, life itself, or you just want to drop a DM and say hi. I love hearing from my Flute 360ers across the globe. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of the community. And I can't wait to get into today's content. So today's content is really a place for me to kind of purge a lot of amazing things that I am utilizing in my life right now. And I want to share it with you. And this list, there's 14 items. So hopefully I counted everything correctly. I'll have to go back and recount just to make sure, because 14 is quite a bit. But these are 14 items or services or resources that seem a little hodgepodgey, but I promise it's all under this realm of being a Flute 360er. To learn from life outside of the practice room, outside of the performance stage, I think is so vital for our artistic growth. Case in point, I did a recent remote presentation for a Californian college and their flute studio last week. And we were talking about these life lessons that you can pull out from your non-music hobbies, such as crocheting, hiking, rock climbing, and everything in between. And what I shared were lessons that I learned from podcasting and how I applied it to my artistry and my music education world. So if you're ever interested, let me know if this topic resonates with you, and I can maybe do a solo episode in the future on this very topic. Or I can come to your flute studio remotely and talk to your people and your students about this very thing. But all of that is to say is we don't learn in a vacuum. We get to go out and be curious in life, explore life, and pull from nature, church, relationships, all these different experiences and avenues in life, and fortunately, bring it into our flute world. I remember telling that specific Californian flute professor, like, how can you play Valerie Coleman's butterfly piece if you perhaps never experienced a butterfly fluttering around you, right? So if you are stuck in your inspiration, in your artistic inspiration, you feel like you really can't get the music to come alive off the score, I encourage you to go on a hike. I encourage you to start crocheting, start up a new hobby like painting or sculpting. Get involved in a new sport. These practices, activities, and hobbies will brighten up your day and really inject new ideas and inspiration into your flute playing. That's what this list for today's episode is all about. I have been taking care of my health and making that a number one priority right now because that is the season that I'm in. And Eric and I have been doing exercises twice a day, once in the morning, once in the evening, and I'm being very aware of the things that are going into my body and the things that I'm choosing not to go into my body. Like, it's my choice. I have complete control of how I maintain and take care of my health, both spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically. And you have that choice too. The more that I sit in that seat of being, air quote, take this with a grain of salt, air quote, in control of my physical, spiritual, and mental well-being, the better I show up for my students, clients, and partners. And I want you to feel like you are fully present and you are feeling empowered and confident when you come to the flute. And the best way I know how to advise you along those lines is to take care of yourself first and foremost. Now, this is a version of self-love, but again, everything in balance, right? Yes, your relationships are important. Other people are important in your life. So I don't want you to hear that and misconstrue and go all out on self-love and not have everything in check and in balance. So that's what this list is. It's me noticing the resources, the foods, the habits and practices that I have been incorporating in my life, and it's making a noticeable difference. And I want this for you. So if you're stuck, use my list and find inspiration. You don't have to use all of it. Feel free to pick and choose and maybe start with one item a week. It can be that easy peasy. My disclaimer is please do your own research. And if it is a medical body tip or nugget that I'm offering you today, please check in with your pediatrician, your doctor, whoever needs to be concerned with these new health choices that you are incorporating into your daily routine. Make sure you check in with your healthcare providers. Okay, so going down the list, the first thing that I have promoted before or mentioned before is this amazing biblically based podcast, and it's called Leading the Way with Dr. Michael Youssef. If you need a spiritual boost, if you need some biblical wisdom injected into your daily routine, I highly recommend this podcast. Now, I don't know about you, but when I podcast and I'm a podcast listener, I am doing my makeup. I am sitting on the floor, checking out and sitting in front of this full body mirror with my makeup bag, brushes, and all that jazz. And within the 30-minute podcast episode, my makeup and hair is typically done. So it's a really good time for me to utilize, for me to center myself for the day and to get grounded and in sync with my faith, beliefs, and more. The 2 podcast series that I have completed through Leading the Way include a story and includes examining the life of King David. And I believe the title to that is A Heart for God. It was a long series, but it was so worth it. It was a 14-part series, and it really took a deep dive looking into King David's life, both as a shepherd, a young man, and one of the best kings of Israel throughout history. And the second series that I just completed through Leading the Way is called Jesus Has an App for You. Now, this is a 4-part series, so much shorter than A Heart for God. If you need something a little bit shorter, then definitely check out this one. And I want to redirect the question and the main idea here to you and for your life. What grounds you first thing in the morning? For me, it's doing my daily devotionals. That is what helps ground me and helps to reframe and to refocus on my priorities, my vision, and my mission. I highly recommend this. The reason being is because life can get messy and crazy and busy. And my question to you is, so that way you can be in a mode of self-reflection, is, are you doing the right work? And if so, I want you to ground yourself before you do the work on your desk, the work that you are so passionate about. Take 10, 15 minutes at the beginning of your day and meditate, be in silence, be with yourself, journal. These are all really good, healthy practices that you can incorporate. Now, going down the list, these next few tips and tricks, these few resources that I'm utilizing in my life are very health conscious. And the next one, number 2, is using a cinnamon stick to deter fruit flies. Now, in the past, I used to have a little ramekin out on my kitchen island, and I would fill it up with apple cider vinegar, put a foil lid over the ramekin, and poke holes on top. The flies go in, but I am such a mess. Sometimes I accidentally hit over the small bowl and the ACV goes everywhere. Oh my gosh, it is so messy. So to deter the fruit flies, I eat lots of fruit and I hate those little pests. But what I do is, instead of ACV, now I stick some cinnamon sticks in my fruit baskets on the kitchen island. Man, oh man, this works like a gem. And thank goodness for TikTokers sharing their tips and tricks, because I've tried it. It is amazing. No mess, no fruit flies, and I am one happy camper. The third item on the list is, if you are dealing with anxiety or irritability, you could be lacking the right amount of magnesium in your body. So for me, when I am unwinding for the day, calming down my mind, I have a nighttime ritual. And I'm curious, what is your nighttime ritual? Do you turn off the lights 30 minutes before bed? Do you throw on some white or brown noise in the background? Do you dim the lights? Are you removing yourself from technology and blue light through screens? I would love to know. But if you're having a hard time sleeping, getting into some sort of sleep habits that your body can recognize and go, ooh, signal, okay, she's dimming down the lights. Ooh, okay, he's turning off the cell phone 30 minutes before bed. That could initiate and start telling your body, hey, I'm giving you these signals. It's time to unwind. So one of my nighttime routines is mixing together this drink mix. It's a supplement and it contains magnesium citrate from a company called Calm. It labels and it reads, it's a natural vitality powered drink mix. It helps support healthy magnesium levels, 325 milligrams per serving, and it's raspberry lemon flavored, non-GMO certified and verified. I got this at Costco. I don't know if you can get it anywhere else. I'm sure Amazon and things like that, but it is my go-to. It really relaxes and calms down my mind, my muscles, my body, and it signals to my brain, okay, get ready for bed. So if you need something to help you with your nighttime routine, I highly recommend drinking a magnesium supplement. This next item is also health-based, so make sure you check in with your health professionals in case you are pregnant, going through treatment for other conditions, etc. But flax seeds is my go-to to help reduce inflammation in my body. This one is so simple. Oh my goodness, I absolutely love it. So when I'm feeling inflamed and puffy and just kind of have these natural aches and pains in my body, I know I'm inflamed. I can just tell. I know my body. So my go-to is to the night before, so right before I go to bed, I will put 2 to 3 tablespoons of flax seeds, not the ground up meal, but flax seeds themselves, into a glass, fill it up with water, set it in the fridge, and in 12 hours, so the next morning or in the afternoon, I can consume it. I strain the flax seeds from the water and drink the water itself. It is divine. It is so lovely. It has a hint of nuttiness and rawness from the flax seeds itself, and it's just a hint of nutty taste in your water, but it is so yummy. I drink this once a day, every day, and kid you not, it brings down my inflammation amazingly well. So if you are inflamed, I would definitely check out the benefits to flax seeds and this little drink concoction. Okay, we are number 6 on the list. And if you are craving some good, healthy fats, if you can tell that your brain is a little bit in this haze and you're experiencing brain fog, you may need some really good, healthy fats. I know that's why I crave avocados and salmon, things like that. But this is another drink concoction. It's not really a drink concoction, but it's another recipe that I put together the night before I go to bed so I have it ready and readily available for me to consume the next day. And that is, I make a chia seed pudding. Now, there's a lot of different ways in which you can make chia seed pudding. You can have the base be almond milk or oat milk, but I prefer coconut milk. Coconut milk has this really beautiful, bright flavor, and my taste buds go hog wild for it. So all you do is you take 1 can of coconut milk, which is typically about 13.5 ounces, pour it into a mason ball glass jar. And I prefer the tight. It's like called Sure Tight. And it's these jars that will airtight and push out any air so that way the pudding is preserved longer. It's called Sure Tight or something like that. But anyways, you put 1 can of coconut milk into this mason jar, dump about 4 tablespoons of chia seeds into the coconut milk, put the lid on, and shake it up. Now, if you want to take it a step further, you can drop in a few drops, 3 or 4 drops of vanilla extract. I really like that flavor. The coconut and vanilla complement each other very well. Shake it up really good, let it rest. and then come back to it about 2 to 5 minutes later and shake it up again. This way, you're really ensuring that the chia seeds get coated and they're not going to clump up at the bottom of the glass jar. Put it in the fridge overnight, and then next morning, you have a delicious, delicious breakfast snack. You can pour some of the pudding into a bowl and cut up some strawberries, throw in some berries, blueberries, raspberries, blackberries, maybe sprinkle some coconut shavings on top, some walnuts or almonds, and sprinkle it with some raw organic honey. Yum, yum, yum. And my body craves it, I am convinced, because the coconut milk has a lot of good fats. And with exercise and things like that, because that's more consistent for me now, I know I'm burning a lot of energy, and I want to make sure that my body is well balanced with those good fats. The last thing that I will say about that chia pudding is make sure you get raw, natural chia seeds that are non-GMO, organic, and all that jazz. Moving down the list, I believe we are on number 7, and I am really making it a conscious point to add collagen into my diet. Now, collagen helps your hair growth, nails, skin, joints, and all of that. And as we age, things like collagen go away. So, fortunately for us older folks, we need to be conscious of adding these supplements and using these supplements to our advantage to aid our health and aid our body. So I put collagen 1 to 2 scoops a day into my favorite lemon drink. I have offered this recipe before, but I will do it again. It's like my go-to lemon smoothie. It's a great pick-me-up in the middle of the day if I need a burst of energy from natural sugars. So the recipe includes 1 large lemon, 3 dates unpitted, a few shots of vanilla extract, a couple squirts of raw organic honey, and a thumb-sized portion of raw ginger that's peeled, a cup and a half of water, and the 1 to 2 scoops of collagen in the drink mix. Mix that bad boy up in a blender, in a mixer, pour it over ice, and drink with a straw. It is divine. Ooh, the last thing that I totally forgot is you want to also add in a splash of olive oil into your drink mix. Blend it all up, and then there you go. It is perfect. It's a great anti-inflammatory juice. It's a great way to boost up your immune system with the vitamin C from the lemon. And a lot of times people ask me like, oh my gosh, are you like taking off the rind of the lemon? Are you just putting the meat in? No, it's the whole lemon. Seeds, rind, everything. But quarter it so that way the mixer doesn't have to mix up and beat up an entire lemon, because that's a lot for the machine. So quarter it up, but it's the entire fruit. And just like the other ingredients that I mentioned earlier, for the collagen, I'm very specific that I get it from a reputable source. So I use a company called Forest Leaf, and it is collagen that is pasture raised, grass fed, unflavored collagen, and it's non-GMO. So again, it really is pertinent that you look at the ingredients, you look at how these supplements and things are put together, because that can either add to your health or deter away from your health goals. The next thing on the list is fish oil. I love my supplements in the morning. I feel like even if I have an off day, right? Say I don't get all the exercise in that I want to get to. Say I don't get to everything I want to for my flute practice routine. Say I don't get to everything on my to-do list. It's okay, because at the end of the day, I can look at the top of my morning and go, you know what? I did my supplements. I ate healthy. I had a great, healthy, balanced breakfast. I got a morning walk in. Life is good. So my supplements include creatine, fish oil, and turmeric. The creatine really helps. This is something else I've been researching a lot just like collagen. As we age, the creatine from our muscles goes away. So to supplement, to add some creatine into your body, your muscles and your brain will thank you, okay? Creatine adds and retains more water in your muscles. It gives you a better boost and more energy for your workout routine. And it really helps, back it up, and it really helps. You're going to be able to think faster, have more energy, and your body's going to thank you. Number 9 on the list, and sorry that this sounds kind of like a laundry list. I don't mean it to be that way at all. I really feel the need to purge and give you guys the goods. So I just know I get inspired when I have content creators telling me their tips and tricks, the things that really motivate and help their daily routines. I love that information. So I just thought to mix it up a little bit this week and get something out there, really inspire you. So that way you can get off the page, if something in your routine just isn't gelling for you. These are some awesome resources for that. But if it sounds listy, I apologize. That's not my intent. So number 9, I call this my immunity shot. It boosts my immunity tenfold, and it's so simple. So again, I take a little ramekin, a little small bowl, and do about maybe a tablespoon of olive oil, half of a lemon squeezed, and take out the lemon juice and put it in with the olive oil, and 2 to 3 shakes of cayenne pepper into the same bowl. Stir it up so that way all 3 ingredients are covered, and give yourself a health shot. This is great to boost up your immunity. Students come into your studio, right, with all of the sniffles and colds and sneezing. So we're around a lot of students or a lot of performers on stage in a close proximity. So not everybody takes care of themselves, right? So to each their own. But if you really are health conscious and you want to make sure that your likelihood of getting sick is diminished, I highly recommend this shot at least once a day. I do it in the morning and at night, and I also do it for Eric too, because that red cayenne pepper helps open up the arteries and gets the blood flowing. He naturally has high blood pressure, and so it is imperative for us to really be health conscious in that realm to help him in that area. I do it because the cayenne pepper also is really good for pain relief. It's a natural pain reliever, which is awesome. The olive oil is good fats for your brain. It gets things moving in your GI tract. And then the lemon juice, obviously, for vitamin C and antioxidants and all that jazz. So do this shot once in the morning, once in the evening, and your body will thank you later. And number 10 on the list is, you ready for it? Because this is going to shock you. It shooketh me. It shocked me. It shooketh me. Whatever. It shocked me. So get ready to sit down for this one. No coffee. No coffee in my diet for the past 75 days. The reason why I removed coffee from my diet is because I was noticing that after a shot of espresso, an Americano, a cup of coffee, in 20 to 30 minutes, I was extremely anxious and irritable. And I hated that feeling. So the lesson in this is notice. Your body will teach you things. It will tell you things that it needs and or doesn't need. Your body is this beautifully woven machine that God has created. And if you do it right, if you do the right things for it, and if you really listen to it, it will tell you what it needs and what needs to be eliminated. For me, coffee was one of those things. Okay, I was irritable, anxious, and I really think it was aiding and adding to my flare-ups where I was super inflamed and not happy. So it was difficult, I'm not going to lie, but if there's a will, there's a way. For me, I went cold turkey. For you, you may need to if you are a coffee addict. And this is something that you have been kind of exploring in your own world and curious about. Should I drop coffee? Maybe you need to just go from 3 cups a day to 2 cups a day, and then the next week, 1 cup a day. To each their own. So for me, I went cold turkey because for me, it's like I'm an all or nothing type of girl. And so what worked best for me was just to rip off the Band-Aid, go cold turkey, and I haven't looked back since. Now, your prayers in the morning would be much appreciated here at the Begay household. And that's because Eric still drinks coffee and I smell that beautiful, amazing coffee aroma filling up the house and my senses go, oy vey, I want some so bad. But knowing how it makes my body feel, it's an easy pass. It's an easy pass. So if you are wanting to eliminate something from your diet, don't see it as deprivation. Don't see it as, oh, I'm depriving myself from my coffee mate. No. See it as you are choosing to remove this item from your diet. Whether it's health or your practice routine, it's your choice. And replace it with something else. That's my biggest coaching tip, is if you replace it with a warm cup of green tea, or if you replace it with a drink supplement, ginger tea, orange tea, lemon tea, whatever gets you excited, then your body is like, oh, okay, new routine, new vibe, I'm all for it. Don't see it as you're depriving yourself because then you're going to want and crave that item even more. So the last 3 or 4 items, I'm going to rip it off like a Band-Aid because my student is going to show up at my door any second. So I want to make sure that I get through this podcast episode for you so we can wrap it up like a nice, beautiful bow. Journal. Whether it's your practice journal, your health journal, write things down, put it down in a place where you can see it on a daily basis. Seeing is believing. When I look at my past choices in my health journey through my rehab program, and I see the mountains that I have moved in past seasons, it gives me empowerment and confidence for the daily tasks, the things that are on my to-do list for today. If I have a setback and I have a flare-up and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm in pain, I have kinks in my neck, I can't move my neck as well as I used to, I am reminded that I have done hard things in the past. Look at those past entries of the journal and go, oh, wow, I also had a flare-up 30 days ago. What did I do? And when you put pen to paper, you can retain more information. It's very therapeutic. So whether it is a practice journal, a health journal, I would definitely recommend just the concept and the act and practice of journaling. Now, this can be so simple or it can be really in-depth. My journal sometimes is the nuts and bolts of the day. Woke up, ran 2 miles, ate these things, bed. It can really be that simple. Or you can dive in deep and really take pen to paper, purge out your emotions, your thoughts, your ideas. You can make it whatever you want to make it. So that's the empowerment I want to give you today. The next one is sea moss. Oh my goodness. You can get sea moss through Amazon and you can actually make the purchasing so simple by putting it on subscription. I take a spoonful of sea moss every morning, and it's because your human body needs 102 minerals every day to function and to function well. Sea moss contains 92 of the 102 essential minerals for the human body. I mean, come on, that's pretty amazing. Now, there's some companies out there that will add in like pineapple or strawberry flavor, but I kind of ex-nayed that idea. I go unflavored, just like the collagen and things like that. And it really doesn't have a flavor, in my honest opinion. It tastes like applesauce, like the texture is like applesauce, but without the apple flavor. So 1 jar gets me through 30 days of use. Keep it in the fridge. It is so great to reduce inflammation, and it has many, many health benefits. Now a meal idea. If you are just running between things and your time is short, but you want a really healthy lunch, This is my go-to whenever I am in a time crunch. It's so simple. Just cook up a cup of quinoa. Go for the organic if you can. Heat up some black beans. Throw it in together with a smashed up ripe avocado. Sprinkle it with cumin, salt, and pepper, and squeeze some lime juice over it. Mix it up. It is divine. Oh my goodness. I feel like having 2 of the superfoods in that lunch, the avocado and the quinoa, really gives me the energy that I need for the day. And my body literally craves the taste of the cumin seasoning. So if you need something really quick, that's a great go-to lunch recipe. And the last thing is, before my student shows up, and we are literally like to the minute, I love it. And that is eating kiwi with the skin on. Now, I discovered this completely by mistake. It was a fluke. Nobody told me to do it. I just always, growing up, I don't know about you, but I always took a knife and cut and peeled off that fuzzy brown skin around the kiwi. One day, I was just so tired of doing that, and I realized a lot of the meat was not being eaten by me because it was getting stuck to the skin, and I wasn't really cutting it close enough, right, to eat all the meat, and I didn't want to waste the fruit. So I just bit into the kiwi, and it was nothing like I had imagined at all. I was expecting this really rough texture to dominate the sweet kiwi meat, but it wasn't that way at all. It actually helped. It actually was kind of nice. Now, some people, I looked at this after the fact. Some people take the kiwi and kind of rub their thumb over the skin to kind of lessen the roughness of the skin before they consume it. But for me, I just go gung-ho and just put it in my mouth. Now, post eating it that way, I researched later and discovered that by you eating the skin on the kiwi with the fruit itself, you are adding an additional 50% of fiber into your diet. And let me tell you what, without being too much TMI, it feels like the kiwi skin cleanses my insides oh so good. I feel refreshed, rejuvenated, energized. It is a must. So, out of the 14 items I gave you, what are you going to implement starting this week? Let me know. Send me a DM. Put your ideas in whatever into the comments, and I would love to hear from you. Lastly, you are personally invited to Saturday's Flute 360 Accelerator Program session with the one and only Dr. Catherine Eminent. We are going to talk about studio recruitment, retention, flute career nuggets, and everything in between. Plus, we're doing it in a really friendly, supportive, and loving group. All 3 tiers, tier 1, 2, and 3, their links are provided in the show notes below. And our next live session for the Masterclass and Mastermind is Saturday, September 28th, 2024, from 11 a.m. Central Time to 1 p.m. Central Time. Perfect for flutists outside of the States. We have people from Canada, Finland, Africa coming into our group. So you want to be there too. And yeah, come meet your new friends, pick Catherine's brain, and you have until this Friday to register. Talk to you later, friend, and see you soon. Let's talk about flute.